Hey everybody, Darren Cross here. Welcome to week 2 of Business 149 Business Math. We're moving and grooving now. In week 2, we're going to be covering chapters 4, 5, and 6. They're related in that they're all related to math, but it's important that we're doing it in this order because we're kind of laying the foundation for how things are going to move forward. Okay, so we learned basically about whole numbers, decimals, and fractions because that's how we're going to be dealing with numbers as we try to solve problems from a mathematical standpoint. In chapter 4, we're going to be talking about the bank system, and specifically, forgive me for looking away from the camera here. We're going to sorry, I should have been prepared with my screen here. Specifically, we're going to learn about the nuances of the checking account. So we're going to learn about the components of the checking account. We're going to define and state the purpose of signature cards, checks, deposit slips, check stubs, registers, and endorsements. All of these things are things that are happening in the background. Understanding them intimately isn't practical. Some of these things are actually outdated and they do them a little bit differently these days. But understanding the basics of how it operates is really going to help you as you move through life. We're going to also correctly prepare deposit slips and checks. So although we don't write as many checks as we used to, this is something that curriculum developers are having a hard time getting away from because people still are writing checks. Okay, so I remember when I first started writing checks, we had debit cards, but we really didn't use them a lot. And so one of the important features of your checking account or functions that you had was to balance your checkbook every day. And so you're going to learn how to do that in this chapter. We're also going to learn about bank statement and the reconciliation process, balancing your bank statement. So we're going to explain the trends in the banking industry, define and state the purpose of your bank statement. We're going to complete a check register and balancing your checkbook, a bank reconciliation. And we're going to explain the trends in mobile banking as they're coming about. Chapter 5 is where we really start digging in. Chapter 5 is where we're learning to solve problems that we're going to have from a mathematical standpoint. I'm trying not to use the word because when I say algebra, people freak out. But really, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to basically find what we're looking for in a mathematical problem that we're having in life, right? So the learning objectives, we're going to solve for equations. We're going to solve equations for the unknown. So we're going to explain the basic procedures for solving equations. We're going to list 5 rules and the mechanical steps used to solve for the unknown. So we're going to look at some rules that you're going to use as you go through. If you break these rules down and follow the steps, if you're following the steps and you're using the rules, you're going to find it a lot easier to solve the problems that you're looking at. We're going to learn how to solve word problems for the unknown. The unknown is going to be that variable that we're looking for, right? So we're going to list the steps for solving word problems, and we're going to give you a blueprint that you can use for solving. It kind of helps you kind of map out things in your head so that you can learn how to solve these problems, okay? And then once we get past that, we're going to go to chapter 6, which is using percents and their applications. Now, what you're going to find, I'm going to put an extra video this weekend so that you can learn my cheats for dealing with percentages. It really makes it super easy. People, in the first week, people were saying, man, fractions are I just got to get the rules down. But people actually, in my opinion, teaching this course freak out the most about percentages. They're just like, I really don't understand how I can tell quickly, what percentage of this number is and that kind of thing. I'm going to break that down. It's going to take 15 minutes, and I think it'll be much, much easier for you. Specifically, we're going to, nope, I didn't hit it. Let's see here. We're going to convert decimals to percents. So we're going to learn what a decimal means from a percentage point. That way, when you're looking at a decimal, you'll know what that means from a percentage standpoint, right? If you see 0.35, you know that that's 35%. But if it's 0.035, you know that it's 3.5%. And if it's 0.0035, you know it's less than 1%, right? So we're going to learn that. We're going to convert percents to fractions. We're also going to use the portion formula, your circle, in order to figure out basically what you might be looking for from any perspective when you're dealing with fractions. So you're going to listen to find the key elements of the portion formula. You're going to solve for one unknown. So one of these things, there's three things that you're looking for, and you're going to figure out how to tell which one of those things the problem is actually looking for, right? Are they saying, what is the percentage of this? Are they saying, what percentage of this number is this number? Are they saying, this, I forgot what I said so far, but there's different things that they could be asking, right? So you have to figure out what question they're actually asking, and then you're going to learn how to do circle there. We're going to calculate the rate of percent increase and decrease. So we're going to look at percentage increases and decreases. As you go through life, that's going to be tremendously important. If you work in the business world, that's something that you're going to be looking at year over year or month over month, right? So this year we increased our sales by 10%, right? You need to figure out what that is, or sales declined by 10%. Or if you go into economics, or if you're concerned about politics, you want to know what's really going on year over year, you could look at the percentage increase of a specific statistic that you're interested in, whether it be unemployment or GDP growth or something like that. But percentages you are not going to be able to get away from, so we're going to bite the bullet and we're going to learn it this week, okay? That's pretty much it. I think this stuff is pretty simple. I think that the videos inside of your textbook do a really good job of kind of breaking things down. Like I said, I am going to have that additional video in there to help you figure out how to deal with percentages, I think, more easily. But if you have any challenges with anything, feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to help you out. Good luck, everybody.